gonna wait for everyone to kind of get in here a little bit before I get started, but I need to plug in my computer. Okay, I'm gonna mess with my microphone for a second. Let me know how it sounds, because I'm kind of messing with the settings. I haven't used this microphone in a long time, so I don't know what is more sensitive or less sensitive, so just let me know like what sounds better. Okay, plot twist. We're gonna go with the last setting. So I'm gonna kind of get started here. Feel free to kind of ask some questions in the comments there, and I'll answer as I go. Yeet. Okay. We're just gonna wing it. I don't know if this is the best time to be streaming at all, so I don't know how many of you guys are gonna be on here. But we're gonna figure it out. But yeah, like I said, feel free to ask some questions. I would play music, but I don't really want to get any copyright strikes, even though I'm not like monetized. I don't want to deal with that. You know what I mean? So I've basically started out, if I can remember how to use Photoshop, I basically started out with a very rough sketch. I don't quite know who this is going to be yet. I'm probably just going to go with Ghost because why not? But oftentimes I will draw in my sketchbook and then I will just take a picture of it and send it to myself on like Instagram or Facebook, and then I'll just throw it in Photoshop, and then I'll go from a really rough sketch like this to like a refined sketch like this, and then I'm going to move on to the line art. Okay, sorry about that. I posted in my story that I was live, but I decided to make a post on like my page that I was live, because I know that like there's not a lot of people that check their stories. Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of start drawing here, and as the questions roll in, I'll try and answer them best I can. But yeah, you can ask questions about me, what I'm drawing, my art in general, about the story, my OCs, whatever. Let me know if my like computer sounds are too loud, or if you can hear my computer my computer's fan going, because then I'll adjust the sensitivity there. also, you'll notice that, like, I obviously don't have a very good understanding of teeth. Because I'm not, I really just, I probably should, to get my, anatomy correct, but I really just don't study skulls anymore. I used to as a kid, but I just wing it now. Yes. Also, my answers will be delayed because technology and things will be delayed. Thanks, dude. Okay, so we have our first question here. With your characters, are we able to make interactive little comics with them? Yeah, absolutely. Like if you want to say, oh, your OC meets my OC or something like that, yeah, you can absolutely do that. I'm all for that. So down. Down for that. Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember we talked, yeah. You seem like a pretty chill person. I am drawing, I don't really know. So, I low-key was thinking Lotus. I mean, whoever you think. I honestly don't know. Yeah, it does look like Ghost. The only reason why I say it probably could, like, potentially could not be Ghost is, like, he doesn't have his big old chin. Low-key might go with Lotus. Just because, like, I haven't drawn him since I started my Instagram account, so... Also, these teeth need to, like, be a little bit smaller. That looks okay. You're drawing Zeke and Cat? Yas! OTP. I mean, yikes. Elara and Ghost are the one true pairing. Oh my god, you can hear me. Okay. I mean, yeah, you can hear me, but I had my phone kind of playing off to the side, but I didn't realize that my microphone was picking it up. Sorry. Okay, sorry, I was sending a message. Yeah, we're gonna go with Lotus, so that means I'm probably gonna tweak his ears and then make him, like, maybe a little bit, thinner. Aww. Oh, that's really nice. I don't have any friends here where I live, so I only talk to, like, God, like 2 or 3 people that I used to hang out with all the time, so, yeah, down for making new friends. We're actually, so Skylar and I are actually making this story together, so she's actually Shadow Felix there in the chat. We're making a Discord. I could I could plug in that Discord invite in there so we can get Garbage Teeth, so we can get some people in there. Let me see here. Okay, so there is the Discord, if you want to join that. So I literally just made it, like, this morning, so it might be garbage, but it's okay. We're learning together. Yes. Oof, there we go. So if you'll notice a lot that I will redraw the same line over and over, and a lot of artists do that because you gots to have good line art, yo. Spill the tea. Okay, so, how did Shadow and Ghost meet? Did they grow up together? Yes and no. So, Shadow was already part of the Phantom Pack before Ghost showed up. And Ghost is like a fully fledged yearling at that point, and Shadow's like, I don't know, 6 months. Maybe. Skylar will have to confirm that. But I'm really stumbling over my questions here. Or my words. So Ghost is introduced to the Phantom Pack, and Shadow he's pretty sure to make friends with him very quickly, because Ghost is a fully fledged yearling and Shadow needs protection from his bullies. And that's basically how they meet. I mean, they talk and they become buddies, and Ghost finds out that Shadow doesn't have a name. And so Ghost, being smart and clever and creative, says, "Hey, why don't we name you Shadow?" And that's how it all started. I'm really bad at explaining things. Sky is so much better at words than I am, and low-key, she does most of the writing and has most of the ideas, and I just draw them. But that is essentially how they met. Shadow really said he's bigger than me and scary looking. Protection time. Yeah, basically. She had asked how Ghost and Shadow met. And I painfully summed it up for her. For a second I was like, am I using the right brush? Because this seems like pixelated, but I think it's just the resolution I have. So if anyone has ever wondered, for the most part someone has asked me before what size canvases I use, and generally I will use a 6x8 600 pixels per inch canvas. But when I want to do bigger, more dramatic pieces, I will use 1920 by 1080 pixels at 600 pixels per inch. So it's not necessarily by any means super high res, but for some reason that's just what I default to. And I do use Photoshop. And the tablet I have is a Huion Inspiroy. His jaw looking fucked up. Alright, let me fix this, hold on. His mouth just seems like not long enough. But he's kind of supposed to be like facing down, but I want this. I'm gonna go about there and see how it looks. That looks okay. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. Yeah, your profile picture's cringe. What the hell? You guys are so sweet, and this story has my whole interest. It's just so interactive and cohesive. Thank you. Yeah, without even realizing it, we've been working on this story for over a decade. But, many things have changed about it over the years. Like, we literally just picked this up in the past year or so after we dropped it forever. Yeah, and, you know, we're trying to make it as interesting and as original as it can be because, you know, we want to be different. We want to be a little bit unique. So for any of you just now joining, feel free to ask any questions in the chat. It's all good. It can be about me, it can be about the story, it can be about my art. Give me 1 second, I need to plug in my phone, because that's what I'm using to view the chat here. So, sorry if it's a little bit boring. I would play music, but like I said, I don't want to get a copyright strike. It's lagging. Oh, garbage. What the hell? 1 second. Okay. How are we good now? Yeah, it would probably not lag so much if... It'd probably be a lot better if I plugged in an Ethernet cable, but let me see here. Yes, hello, it's me. I'm jacking my boyfriend's Ethernet cable. Give me 1 second here. See if this will work. Okay. So I'm gonna assume it's okay. I just plugged in the Ethernet cable like an idiot, so I don't know if that's gonna do anything. Anything that great. Yeah, Skylar, it's just your terrible Wi-Fi. Okay. I'm afraid afraid this is gonna murder it. Are we good now? Okay, everyone else is saying that it's fine, so I'm gonna assume that it's fine. Cool beans. Alright. Let's say 4. Four months old? Oh, Shadow's 4 months old when Ghost and Shadow meet. Okay. Yeah, so there is like a pretty large, not super large, but there is an age gap between Ghost and Shadow. So if this is gonna be Lotus, I'm gonna make his ears like long because what was a secret? You just said it in a public chat. It's okay. The secret's out. Okay, so we're making this Lotus now, and he's got some, like, long boy ears in comparison to Ghost. Ghost has teensy ears that make him look more intimidating. I mean, they're not gonna be very big because I don't want them to look freaking ridiculous, but... Where are the lies? Oof. Is my connection okay? Sorry if you can hear my phone buzzing. But like I said, for anyone that's just now coming in, feel free to ask questions about anything, as long as it's not inappropriate. Cool. Oof. Yeah, I'm fine with not drawing Ghost right now because, like, I want to show more of our other characters, even though Ghost has my heart. Love your guys' work. I'm excited to read the book when it comes out. Yes! Yeah, so we do not have a release date whatsoever right now. Like, we have no idea when it's gonna come out. Like, we're still getting the plot down and making sure our timeline makes sense, you know? And we're still coming up with ideas and stuff, and, like, we already, like, even have, ideas for the third book. But, won't be spoiling those because 'tis a secret. Yikes. Here we go. Should I play music? I think I might put on some, like, I don't know, lo-fi or something. I'm not sure. I don't have OBS recording my desktop audio, and I don't think I can change it at this point. Audio. Oh, I can. Cool. Let's see. Apply. Okay. Let's see if I can find, like, a... I'm gonna draw some fan art later. What characters should I draw? Any of them. Literally any of the characters that are on my Instagram you can draw. We would love to see some Ghost and Shadow, because for some reason I just don't draw them together much. Let's see. Just 1 second. This is good. Just... I don't want to get a copyright strike. I mean, in my original, going back, well, I guess we weren't really even talking about Lotus in the drawing anyway, but in the original, character sheet of Lotus, he is like super fluffy and kind of bulky, but we have kind of discussed his design, and I suggested that he be a little bit more slim. And same goes for all of the poison wolves, simply because they live in like a subtropical, they live on a subtropical like island. If I could get this leg to do what it's supposed to do. That's fine. So if I ever stream again, I don't know like what day it'll be or what time or anything like that, and it probably won't ever be the same day every week if I do them every week, simply because I work retail, and we all know how retail goes, in that your schedule is never the same. Rarely, anyway. Okay, so I made him a little bit skinny. Oops, what'd I do? Nope. Debating on moving that leg, but I kind of like the whole ask me questions. What do you want to know? I will try to answer as many questions as possible without giving spoilers away. If you watch Skylar's TikTok, you're bound to know a little bit more about the story, because my Instagram is pretty vague. So the only thing with this leg is that it looks thicker than the other. There we go. Cool beans. So while we wait on some questions to roll in, I'll just talk a little bit about the drawing. So one thing that kind of helps me, which I won't be able to do right now because I'm streaming, is that when you're drawing, like before you get to the line art stage, you'll want to kind of take a step back and take a break from the drawing, because that will, when you come back, you'll have like a fresh, it's almost like you have a fresh pair of eyes looking at the drawing, and you can easily identify, like, you know, are your proportions wrong, you know, does something look too small, or whatever, is the head placement not right, blah blah blah. And this drawing was kind of sitting in here for a while before today, so I've already kind of taken that step. But even after you do your line art and stuff, it's good to kind of take a step away to, you know, once you've been looking at it for so long, you don't really see, you know, the issues that might arise with it. So I don't normally draw this on all of my wolves, but because Lotus's like head is a completely different color than the rest of his body, I'm going to separate his head and his neck here like this. Also, please tell me if the music is like too loud. Like if you can't hear me that well. How do you design so well? I don't know. I feel like just having like a crap ton of inspiration really helps. You know, I mean, you can even look at other people's character designs, you know, just don't copy them, but you can be inspired by someone else's design as long as it like looks different enough that it's not copying them. You know what I mean? I mean, there's a very, 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 very fine line as to what is copying and what is not. But, yeah. Oh, I just saw your comment, Sky. You're about to make a video on toast and Fleabag meeting. Yeah, do that because I'm not good at answering questions. Okay, so we are done with line art basically. I guess I can move on to coloring. So I'm gonna pull up his reference sheet here. But yeah, Lotus, his design isn't going to change, but I am going to redraw his reference sheet to just, you know, like I have recently with a lot of the characters, just to make them all look a little bit more like stylized and like they have more personality and character. But for the most part, I like his reference sheet. It's just that this general area with his like neck fuzz and all that, like I'm not a fan of because it just like looks odd to me. So I'm gonna start with his face. We're gonna go with this light color here. Be sure to lock your layers so you don't draw on them. Before I do anything else, I'm just going to color his whole body, his actual body color. It saves me a lot of time. I love Lotus. Cool. He's, we haven't, well, now that I think about it, we really haven't developed his character, like, as much as the others, simply because, I mean, he is an important character, but we really just haven't delved too deep into his background and stuff. But yeah, his character design is like one of my favorites simply because it's just so interesting. And sorry if like all of you artists out there, if like watching me color it like this is painful, because I'm sure there's like a much easier way, but I just like doing this. Skylar's still in the chat, but I'm like low-key tempted to make his like gums and tongue like some crazy color, like purple. But I'll wait for her to approve of that. I feel like Photoshop's lagging a little bit. Yeah, we're lagging a little bit. I don't know why. For any of you that are just getting in here, please ask any questions that you have about the story, my characters, the art, me, anything. It's fine. As long as it's not weird. Like, where do I live? I mean, I live in the United States. I live in Indiana. I mean, I'll tell you that, but don't ask me for my address. Or where I work. Like some dark blue bits kind of chilling. So his nose is black. Sorry, I haven't drawn Lotus in forever, so I apologize for not even knowing my own character. Are the different elements wolves rivals or allies? For the most part, they're all allies. You know, some of them are more elusive than others, you know, as to where, like, they kind of stick to themselves for the most part, which would be, like, the Frosts. They kind of just mind their own business and don't really contact other packs, really. But for the most part, poisons are kind of outcast and I guess not a super prominent part of the community until Lotus came around. elemental wolf is Lotus. So Skylar will have to confirm this, but I'm pretty sure that poison wolves aren't necessarily considered elemental in the Avalon universe. They're like considered like a whole freaking different thing. Because like they don't have like powers. They're just like really agile, and they have like physical differences and abilities that other wolves like don't have. Like their toes are webbed, and they have like a second set of fangs that come and sit like right here behind, you know, their wolf fangs. They're kind of like snake fangs. They are snake fangs. So they're really not considered elemental because it's not like they can breathe fire or shoot freaking icicles from their backs or whatever. So like the things that they can do are part of their bodies, and it's like biological, you know? I really don't know how to explain it, but they're different. That. Okay. His markings in the reference sheet are pretty like rough, and they're like sketchy, so I'm trying to make this like a little bit more clean. To an extent. Yeah, so Skylar has essentially just like the same thing I said, except a little bit more in depth. Yeah, so they're not elemental at all. Here's brown, yeah. Okay. Cool. Besides Toast, who's my favorite? I don't know, man. I mean, probably Ilera? I mean, we both agreed that she's an extremely dynamic character. Is she a badass? But, I mean, like, who has the best, like, who has my favorite design? Probably Indivar. Give me the questions, y'all. I mean, I know a lot of you probably watched Skylar's stream on TikTok, and I probably got a lot of your questions answered there, but, you know, get a little bit of different perspective, you know what I mean? You can ask about the hot tea with the thieves and stuff. That was great. Thank you. Yeah, it really just takes loads of practice. You'll hear literally any artist on the planet say that. With the idea to create Avalon. So we get this question a lot. It basically just came from me and Sky role playing in the woods when we were in 4th grade. 4th, 5th grade. I think we stopped ever tried using Procreate? No, and I would love to, but I don't have any sort of Apple devices because I'm cheap. But I would love to. I think Procreate seems very user-friendly and, sleek in its design and easy to use. And it does have, some features that Photoshop is lacking. Ugh. Yeah, we stopped in 9th grade. And, we completely stopped altogether. We didn't roleplay. We didn't talk about it. We would still, draw wolves from time to time. But literally just in, the last year, we, picked it up and we were like, hey, you remember when we used to, pretend to be wolves in the woods? And we were like, yeah, those were the good old days. But I don't really know, when we decided to write a book about it. I know it was Skylar's idea, though. So it just came from, role-playing, and we've literally had Ghost and Shadow for, a decade. Yeah, we wanted to make an animated series because there are a lot of good ones on YouTube, but we wanted to make one that's really, really polished, and there was a lot of time put into it, and we even were so we would do a whole season and release it, and then take a break, and then work on another season, kind of like they do shows nowadays. But then we were screw that would take forever. And Skylar is currently active in the military, so it would take years before we would even be able to do that or start it. So a book for now, and then maybe one day an animated series, and even more far-fetched, maybe a show or a movie. Yeah, we both said fuck that. What's really funny is that Lotus is actually the first character we designed when we started this. When we picked it all back up and said we were going to make a story. My phone just died. It's fine. Hopefully the music's bumping. I don't know why my phone is taking forever to charge. Please just charge, thank you. There we go. Hold on one second, I need to take a sip of my vitamin water here. Should his gums nose and tongue be some wacky color? Like purple. What if his teeth are black? Yes, bitch. So did you guys have a whole story planned out from role-playing, or was it a general concept you had to develop into a storyline recently? Yeah, so it was just a role-play, and then in the past year we decided to make it into a story, and yeah, we had to do a lot of plot development. I mean, like, we had a very, very, very basic structure from our roleplay. Like, so back in the day, we had this like bad character named Shade, and Shade was rounding up all the females to, you know, because he likes women. And back then it was mostly like Shadow was the target, and it was only recently that we decided to make Ghost the main character. So yeah, it was a very basic plot, but then we turned it into like a much more complex and fleshed out story, which we're still fleshing out. Wasn't it Shade or something like that? Because there was Shadow and then there was Shade, or I'm pretty sure it was Shade. It was freaking ridiculous. Okay, so I just flew over here from TikTok. Hello. Welcome. I know you said maroon, but for a second I kind of forgot what maroon looks like. Maroon is red. I don't want red. We're trying it, y'all. Fuck it. Alright, we're gonna go like brighter. This way. I should probably watch the chat because she's like, no! So you guys are gonna get like a little bit of a peek into, yeah, I don't know that I'm liking it either. It probably should just be like the color of his freaking eyes here. Okay. The chat is delayed, so I like can't see what you say, and okay, let me try this out. So should his teeth be some crazy color like this? Or is that like too emo? Too emo looking? Maybe just his fangs. Maybe just those two fangs. That might be interesting. What do y'all think? Ah, yes, oxygen-starved purple. That's funny. I mean, I kind of like it. I'm gonna darken this a little bit just so it's like not the same color as his nose. Do you want to see all the teeth black? I would answer you faster, but the chat is delayed, so like... I think the white teeth, the black... Okay, so you think all three is too much. Okay, that's fine. Black looks kind of cool. But is it the right shade of black? Because I'm getting like... Okay, let me get rid of this right here. Is this the right shade of black though? Dropkick Productions. That's funny. I like that. Like, do you think the... Yeah, I don't know either. Like, I kind of like it, but I kind of don't. You know? Black teeth would be cool, but does it look right with this, you know? Sorry, I'm just like on another tab looking at the chat for now. I don't think I like the black teeth unless it was the original idea where the fangs were retractable. Okay. Yeah, I don't know that I like the black teeth either, and I don't know that I'm super crazy about the purple. So let me try him being like kind of normal right quick. Because I need to grab this color. Yeah, maybe just like his venomous fangs are black. Like the two that are gonna sit right back here. I probably could draw those, but I just don't know if it'll look too crazy. I mean, this looks okay. Maybe not this bright pink though. I'm gonna go with, oof, too much gray. Darken this a little bit. My brush needs to be smaller. Shit. You should talk about Ghost's old design and how much he changed. I had a photo of his old design. I think it's on my like ancient DeviantArt account. still working on a picture with the canvas size you gave me on IG. Yeah, I feel that's just like, there's really is no rhyme or reason as to why that's my go-to canvas size. That's just what I wanted. That's just what I liked. For some reason, I get intimidated by, like, very large canvas sizes. Yeah, Ghost's old design is, like, it's not too much different because he was still just white with blue markings, but it was like they were all like twirly and there were dots. It really resembled I don't know if you guys ever read Acreon, if I'm saying it right. They had a comic way back in the day called Off-White, and it really, Ghost's old design really resembled the White Wolf's markings. But I've since changed it to be much more tribal, I guess. I'm gonna leave that until Skylar gives me some feedback, but basically, someone asked me what I'm drawing. I'm just drawing Lotus, like, doing something. He's, like, in the process of changing direction while fighting, I guess. Like, oh, he just got freaking juked out. Something like that. So you'll probably get to see me do some, like, half-assed background in a little bit. Yeah, Iki, or whatever his name is. How did you develop your line art style? God, how did you develop your line art style? Were you inspired by other artists? Yeah, I mean, like, to an extent. I mean, oh my gosh, digital art was just like, I just like freaking figured it out. Like, there's so much to Photoshop that I don't even know about, and I still struggle with like lighting and effects and even backgrounds and stuff, but yeah, I was definitely inspired by many artists, but I've always liked a really chunky line art. Like, while I do like thin line art, especially for people who have like more of a painterly style, I do think that looks really nice, but it just doesn't work for me. I like a really thick with 2 C's line art. It's like, it just comes from like the graphic designer side of me, where I like everything to be really clean and polished. Yeah. So we're gonna get into shading now. I know a lot of people have asked how I shade, so if you were one of those people, pay attention. It really is nothing special at all. Like, I think what a lot of artists might consider cell shading is how I shade. Oops. Excuse me. I would like the wand. I'm hitting all sorts of buttons. So I don't know if y'all were watching what I was doing. I literally just make a new layer right on top of my color layer, and I pick like a mid-tone gray and just set the layer to multiply, and then you just start shading, yo. And I generally go with a thicker brush than what I lined with, just because it makes it a little bit easier, because shading can be very tedious. And you could be educated and cool and identify a light source, but I don't, because I'm a basic bitch. I mean, I probably should. That would probably help a lot. Select inverse. So for shits and giggles, my light source is going to be over here. Cool. What? Oh. I feel like Photoshop's lagging again. I literally just bought this computer, guys, for like $1,200. And it works great. I mean, it's awesome, but I feel like because I'm streaming and all that, it's getting a little bit... No, your light source is Jesus. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that because I'm streaming and I've never streamed on this computer before, it's using a lot of its power to stream and run Photoshop at the same time. Because I don't know how to shade well anyway. Just gonna wing it. Sure, that's how you shade. That's what things look like. Someone is spamming my TikTok and Instagram telling me that adders aren't colorful. Please stop spreading misinformation. It's okay. It really is fine. It's okay that we want to make adders colorful. They can cry about it. I mean, that's just the name we want to use. It's fine. Misinformation. It's not oh my goodness. Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. Honestly, that drawing is amazing. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Appreciate you. Honestly, everyone and their dog will have an issue because appreciation isn't their vocab. Yeah, I hate the internet so much for that very reason, because there's always someone that's got some shit about to say about something. Everything. Like, oh my god. Don't even get me started, dude. There is literally always someone that has something negative to say about anything. No matter what it is. It's so dumb. Whether it's, oh, you didn't do that right, or whatever, like. And, like, I don't mean to be, like, that annoying person that's like, social media is, like, toxic. But it kind of is. Like, the longer I've been on it and since I've grown up, like, it really is just a really toxic place. And is full of, like, unrealistic expectations and shit. And it's dumb. No, let's get started. Legit, I'm just happy to find more wolf art. Thanks, my dude. I'm trying to draw a sunset. Good luck. I have not ever attempted a sunset or sunrise. Oh, that's a lie, actually. I will, if I still have it, I'll show you. I think it's like, I don't know. I might have deleted it. Oh, pictures, Photoshop files. Wolf and the Stag. Okay, so I tried to attempt like a foggy sunrise here, and it looks okay now that I'm looking at it right now, but it's like, it just feels like there's something missing, and I was trying to do like rays of sunlight here, but I just could not figure it out, and I gave up on it. And I was trying to do like light on top of the mountains here, but I was really getting impatient. So that's that. Dude, tell them about the person who claimed they created Shadow and Ghost and were calling themselves the Avalon creator. Yeah, we had an issue with, someone was, like, on TikTok, and they were in their, like, bio or whatever on TikTok and Instagram. They were, like, creator of the Avalon Wolves, and we were like, hell no! So we probably blew it out of proportion, but, you know, it is incredibly annoying when you put so much time and energy in creating something and someone is like, I did that. Spill the tea. I just did. Serve up that hot tea. I really don't have a really good understanding of shading, and I probably should, but I just don't care that much. I'm doing trees in the sunset. I've never done a sunset before. Me either, dude. Like, I would love to get really good at lighting and stuff, but I just, like, don't have the energy. And I don't really have the free time. Like, I work full-time in retail, so. But I guess you gotta make time for whatever it is you want to work on. Photoshop is lagging again, but that's okay. So I'm just gonna do a small stripe there of shadows. But yeah, literally someone was like kind of pretending to be me and Skylar. No, I mean, not necessarily. Like, they were just reposting videos, and then they were like, oh, I created the Avalon Wolves, me. And then they literally posted a video of their drawing of Ghost and, like, claimed that he was their character. Like, the same markings and everything, all except for, like, the markings on his legs. But his facial markings were, like, exactly the same. And she still hasn't taken that one down, so that's that. Let's see how it looks so far. Wow. You can't really tell just because there's like so much going on with his face, but they were copying my username too. Yeah, they had the same username. Yeah, now get out. Hopefully I can finish this drawing before I get freaking tired of it. A lot of people voted for me to stream on Instagram, and I would have, but I, like, don't forget to do the pits. Yeah, I'll get them. I would have streamed on Instagram, but the thing is, like, I didn't want to have to, like, use my phone to record my computer screen, because as far as I know, there's no way for you to use like OBS or Bandicam to record your screen and like stream it like I'm doing right now on Instagram. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna use YouTube. That way I can actually do digital art. Because if I had used Instagram, I was just gonna do traditional, and I don't do traditional much anymore at all because it's not as like easy for me to adjust things like it is with digital. Like I can't change the size of my canvas or crop things and move things around when they don't look right. You know what I mean, y'all? Look at that shading. There's really no method to this madness right here when it comes to me shading. Like, from watching like speed paints and tutorials, this is what I gathered from all of that. I was like, cool, I'll just do it this way. Mainly because this is how I did it when I did traditional art. I would just go through with a darker marker and just like follow the lines of the fur, and I was like, yeah, shading. Some like really good artist out there is probably like screaming at me because I'm suck at shading. What app are you using to draw? I use Photoshop. TBH wouldn't really recommend to many people, especially just casual artists like myself. But I would really just make the investment and purchase like an iPad and get Procreate, because I feel like it's all around more cost effective. Because like Photoshop to own by itself is like $25 a month, and to have all of the apps, it's like I think I was paying like $52, and I was like, bro, why? So I stopped. I just took my subscription down to just using Photoshop, because I really wasn't using all of the other apps, even though it was more cost effective to get all of the other apps. Do any traditional art? Yeah, I used to do traditional art a lot because I didn't quite have a really good handle on digital, like using Photoshop, which I still don't, but I figured out like a little bit of a method on how I do it, so it's a little bit easier. But I basically have dropped traditional altogether. Like, I will sketch things on pencil and paper, but then I will transfer them to Photoshop and finish them that way. Hello, I love your art style. Thank you, Unknown Vendetta. Welcome to the stream. I'm awkward, thanks. Oof, I don't like that. Never mind. Okay. How long does it take to make a drawing with colors? Oh, let's see. How long have I been streaming for? I don't know. Oh, almost 2 hours already. Okay. So, yeah, I'm on an hour and 47 minutes, and I'm shading now. So, if that answers your question a little bit, yeah, it takes a while, and I'm like stopping from time to time to answer questions, so, which is fine. Can you help me with colors / patterns? I have trouble with patterns and colors. How so? How many average 25-year-old men Do you think I could fight, or do you think... Confused. I could not fight many 25-year-old men. Probably. I don't know. My boyfriend is like almost 25, but he can like deadlift 600 pounds, so I don't know. Probably couldn't fight him and win. That's an oddly specific question. Yeah, it is, but it's okay. The bear. This is a wolf, but, I don't know. Dogs aren't, like... They're not like cats where they're, like, super, like, graceful and agile when they're fighting. They kind of just... I don't know. I feel like wolves and dogs are a little bit awkward when they fight, but I don't know. Lewis. I just always make trash colors, and I suck at thinking of patterns, like markings and stuff. For me, I feel like a neutral color palette is the way to go. Like, I know this isn't neutral, but to start out with, neutral colors are the best way to go, because that way you kind of... I don't know anything about color theory, okay? But to start out with, neutral is pretty solid for developing a good understanding of color, but I really couldn't tell you. Definitely, like, find a lot of inspiration, reference other people's characters, you know, without copying them. Something that might help, I'm trying to think here, is like, if you, I don't know, just get a piece of paper, or, you know, open up Photoshop and just put your colors, like, put a bunch of colors side by side and see if they look good together, you know? Yeah? Kind of? You feel me? I really am just, like, not good at this. I am the worst teacher, okay? Select inverse. I really love Ghost's Mate. She's my favorite character. Same. Oh my goodness. She just, like, I love her design. Like, not to, like, pat myself on the back, but, yeah, like, I just like her design altogether. Can I kind of use her colors with the okapi markings on her legs? Like Cicada has? Cicada has the okapi markings. But yeah, if you want to, like, use Alera's colors and then use the markings on Cicada as, like, inspiration, yeah, you can absolutely do that. Dropkick Productions. Could I add to that? I have an idea. Sure. Throw me the ideas. Oops. Wrong color. Sorry, let me finish this up right here and I'll look at the chat. Actually, no, you covered it all. Cool. I also need help with shading and lighting. Me too, dude. I feel like my shading is very mediocre at best. It kind of gets the job done, but it's definitely, like, even though I have this here that's all like, ooh, it's a light source, like, can you actually tell where the light's coming from? Probably not. But that's okay. It's fine. Everything's fine. Even with the shading, I kind of find myself redrawing the same lines over and over. But yeah, I really just wing it. Like, what I'm doing with the fur right now is just absolutely, like, guesswork. Like, I'm just like, yeah, that looks good. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do about this spot right here. We'll figure it out. Shaded. I have no idea what I'm going to do about the background. I tend to lean towards like a dark background with like snow or rain, just because I can't do backgrounds to save my life. Will the book have illustrations? I've asked Shadow's owner multiple times without an answer. I like novels with or without graphics, but I just want to know TBH. Okay, so I know we call it a graphic novel, but it is not a comic. It, like Skylar has said, it will be a chapter book. The only thing is that, like, say, at the end of the chapter, there will be, like, a black and white illustration of a scene that occurred in that chapter. Much like a screenshot style black and white drawing. Much like a lot of the scenes I've drawn that you can see on Instagram. But it won't be, like, a comic style drawing. I'm tempted just to make, like, the background, like, freaking red. Like that. And do, like... I'm so excited. Will it be a series of books? Yeah, it'll be a trilogy. I don't know how much I can tell you without it being like too spoily, but yeah, there will be 3 books. I guess that's pretty much all I can say about that. Is there will be 3 books. So something you probably noticed in my artwork is that I like to add like a texture to the color. And how I do that is I go to filter, I go down to noise, I go to add noise, and depending on how like fuzzy I want it to look, right now I'm in between like 12 and 16%, but I think it just really kind of just adds some texture, but I think I'm going to take it down to like 13. And I will do it to the shading layer sometimes, because since the shading layer is on multiply, sorry, I gotta fix this. It usually, the noise just bleeds through, you know what I mean? So filter, add noise. I think I'm gonna add noise to the background as well. Yeah, it just gives it like a little bit of texture. Any ideas on how to make a style? I've been trying, but I can't really find one I like. You just gotta think of an artist and you're just absolutely in love with their style. And I'm gonna tell you one thing, is that there's no such thing as style theft. There is such thing as tracing. So, like, you can like an artist's style and you can replicate that style, and it's fine as long as you're not tracing or like blatantly copying a drawing. You know what I mean? Like, there has been a lot of, I don't know if you could call it controversy, but style theft and pose theft don't exist. They really don't. So it's okay for you to replicate someone's style, especially if you really, really, really like it. Like, it's okay. It really is. But eventually, you know, as you draw more, your style is going to constantly change. It really will. It will change and change and change and change. And if I could, I would show you my old drawings, and I would show you like just how much my style has changed to where it is now. And I feel like this is like where I'll stop. Like, I like my style, and I like have, it's taken me, oh my god, like 16 to 20 years to get to where I am now. So I guess just find a style that you really like, you know, of an artist's, and just try drawing it in your own way. Like, I know there's a very fine line between like copying and, I don't know, if you can understand what I'm trying to say. You can't claim a style. There's only so many ways to draw something. Yours is like very slightly similar to Tazzy Hound's, and I love them both. Yeah, I really like Tazzy Hound's art, and like Navira, and oh gosh, who's another one? Like, I don't, like, they both, Navira and Tazzy Hound, like, are involved in the Domain of the Wolf roleplay, like the AARP, and everyone in that roleplay has kind of adopted that style. So yeah, and I really do like that style a lot. It is really nice. But like I said, you know, while I like a lot of different styles, I have drawn them and I've replicated them, but then, you know, and I've done so much of that to where I've developed my own, and it is a mix between very, very many different styles. You will eventually, you know, just develop your own style. It just doesn't come out of your butt, you know? You'll get there. Yay, you got a YouTube. Yeah, I've actually had YouTube for a while. I just never posted anything, and I found that my videos get more recognized on Instagram anyway, so I really just don't use YouTube that much. But I'd rather use YouTube for streaming than Instagram. I know, right? It's a really nice tile, but FML, the entire RP is full of it now. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I feel it's okay because it's all in the same universe. Like, that style, like, belongs to that roleplay group, so. I only RP on Google Docs or Amino. They're the easiest platforms for roleplay, I think. I used to roleplay on Facebook, like, years ago. On, like, Facebook groups. With, like, a very, like, I would really only roleplay with, like, a select few people in those groups. Yeah, I remember those days. I really just didn't use any other platform, but I was like, oh my gosh, like, that was years ago. 4 or 5 years ago. Should probably add my signature to this. I'm just gonna go with white since it'll stand out a little bit. Since I've finally been exposed to art theft, I've been adding my signature in more than one place now. Because, you know, them art thieves be scheming all the time. But I think that just the one there is fine. I could watch you all draw all day, TBH. Thank you. I don't really know what else I could add to this drawing. I mean, I suck at background, so that's out of the question. Don't ask me to do background. I think I might just leave it as is. It looks pretty good. So, I think I'm gonna end the stream here. I really don't know when I'm gonna do another one. Like I said, it just depends on my work schedule. And my work schedule's all over the flippin' place. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this a little bit, or at least those of you that kind of stopped in. But hope you have a good evening, morning, night, whatever it is over there for you. I'm gonna go make some dinner. Thank you. But yeah, have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time.